It's the first thing people see, and it's the best return for your money on investment. At Lifetime Door, if you have an emergency, they'll come out 7 days a week to service existing garage doors and openers. 5% off any service or install at Lifetime Door Company in Brookfield. Get started now, 262-783-4004, lifetimedoor.net.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, February 10th. Your top story, another chapter in the Milwaukee County pension scandal.
I'm Mike Spaulding in for Jessica Ty. Could the days be numbered for the penny?
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. A few snow showers possible tonight, a light dusting for most of us, a low of 15. Morning flurries expected on Tuesday, then partly cloudy and chilly with a high of 20. It is 23 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, more than 20 years later, the Milwaukee County pension scandal keeps rearing its ugly head.
The county lump sum pension package approved in the year 2000 gave out pension sweeteners to workers, and it ultimately led to the resignation of County Executive Thomas Ament. The ripple effect of that money spent continues to linger. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says just last year, 3 county workers received checks of more than $1 million on top of their regular annual pension. In total, so far, the scandal has cost the county more than $400 million in lump sum payments. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
After some limited snowfall Saturday afternoon, we're again tracking the next chance for accumulating snow in southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson telling Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News that a system Wednesday could track through the Ohio Valley and could clip southeast Wisconsin Wednesday afternoon.
We're on the northern side of the system. We could see some snow roll through Wisconsin. I will tell you the latest models, again, starting to move that snow system down to the south.
He says areas along Lake Michigan could see some additional snow totals. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in about 4 minutes.
Vice President J.D. Vance is on the move, embarking on his first overseas trip since taking office.
Vice President J.D. Vance touching down in Paris to attend a high-level summit on artificial intelligence in the French capital that will gather heads of state and industry leaders. Vance will then head on to the annual Munich Security Conference in Germany, amid reports a peace plan for Ukraine could be presented there. Vance's first foreign trip comes as the Trump administration promises to focus on its America First agenda. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Paris.
And President Trump, meanwhile, says he's instructing the U.S. Treasury to halt minting new pennies.
And that means billions of 1-cent coins could soon be rendered obsolete. Though Andrew Kimmel with Paragon Numismatics in Mequon tells Wisconsin's Morning News that's been the case for some time.
The number of pennies struck since 1793 is 240 billion. Of that number, a tiny percentage are actually in circulation.
And each of those pennies costs more than 1 cent to make. As for those hoping their pennies currently gathering dust will suddenly uptick in value,
they're doomed. Of course not. They'll always be worth 1 cent.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, it's a big week for jewelry sales with Valentine's Day on the horizon, and one gem never seems to lose such value.
Diamonds were first discovered about 3,000 years ago in India. As the hardest natural substance on Earth, these stones of pure carbon were
the first thing that humans had discovered that they weren't able to bend, they weren't able to break it, they weren't able to polish it or cut it.
Jewelry and watch editor at Only Natural Diamonds, Grant Mobley, tells WTMJ the rarest discoveries today are the ones with a hint of color.
Blue diamonds, for instance, are so rare that there's only one that comes to market for every 100 Picasso paintings.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of green this morning with the Dow currently up about 65 points at 44,367. NASDAQ up over 200 points at 19,731. S&P 500 up about 35 today at 6,060. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 11:04.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. It's night 2 of a back-to-back for the Bucks taking on the Warriors tonight at Fiserv Forum. In 2 games, Kyle Kuzma averaging about 12.5 points and 7.5 rebounds a game for Doc Rivers.
Yeah, he's easy to fit in, but that's going to take a minute. We're not going to overload him. We want him to stay being an athlete because that's more important.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. The New York Jets moving on from Aaron Rodgers, according to NFL insider Jay Glazer. It's unclear if the 41-year-old Rodgers will continue his career next season. And it's report week for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitchers and catchers due in Arizona on Wednesday, 1 week ahead of the team's first full squad workout.
Taking a look at your roads in your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving, time saver traffic. Things are looking pretty good out on the system this morning. Do you have a disabled vehicle heading westbound on 94 at 84th Street? Has a left shoulder block. Does look like it's starting to get moved out of the way there. No major delays. Elsewhere across the system, things are looking good.
Mostly sunny today with a high of 30 degrees. Some showers expected tonight of the snow variety. A light dusting for most of us. Low of 15. Tomorrow, lingering flurries in the morning, then partly cloudy and chilly, a high of 20. A little bit of a warm-up on Wednesday. Snow is likely. We'll have a better idea for that a little bit later today. We'll talk to Tyler Moore, meteorologist at TMJ4, coming up in about 10 minutes or so. High of 27 on Wednesday. 22 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Mike Spaulding.
So you know how I am not really in favor of New Year's Day being a holiday?
You're correct.
So every time I bring that up, what day would you exchange, right? New Year's Day, to me, it's just the start of a new year. I'm not really sure why it's a holiday, but nevertheless, more often than not, people will fire back on the text line and say, I would trade New Year's Day for the day after the Super Bowl as a day off. Are you in that camp? Would you rather have the day after the Super Bowl off or New Year's Day off?
See, I think I'm leaning towards New Year's Day because I lump New Year's into the holiday season. It's kind of the end of the holiday season. So as annoying as it is when it falls on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it is kind of nice, I guess, before you head into the long slog of winter to get a little special day on the end of your Christmas holiday.
New Year's Day or opening day?
Oh, well, personally, I love doing opening day at the station. So
that is a fun day for us.
Yeah, really fun. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go New Year's Day.
All right, fair enough.
I'm pretty. What about you?
I like opening day because of how we cover it. If I had a job in a different sector, I might say, let's just kind of make that a holiday in the state.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Fair enough. Some big stories that we're following here. It's about 11:10 on WTMJ.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, President Trump laying out several new policy plans set to take effect this week. More tariffs. Here's ABC's Perry Rossum.
Trump says he'll soon announce reciprocal tariffs on any country that imposed tariffs on the U.S.
Very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them.
Trump says he'll announce 25% tariffs today on all imports of steel and aluminum. Canada is the biggest supplier of aluminum into the U.S. Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, accusing Trump of shifting goalposts and constant chaos, putting our economy at risk. Last week, Trump agreed to pause 25% tariffs on all Mexican and Canadian imports after those countries agreed to border security concessions.
Separately, Trump instructing the Treasury Department to halt the production of pennies, citing the high cost of producing the coins. 2 cents to make a penny, 1 cent value.
Doesn't make much sense.
Roughly.
Meanwhile, another setback for one of the president's executive orders. We get more now from CBS's Stacey Lynn.
A third federal judge has blocked the president's executive order ending birthright citizenship for the children of people who are in the U.S. illegally. The ruling from a U.S. district judge in New Hampshire comes after 2 similar rulings by judges in Seattle and Maryland last week.
Meanwhile, Greg, a lawsuit filed by the ACLU contends that the president's order violates the Constitution. The administration, though, has asserted that children of non-citizens are not entitled to citizenship and is appealing the Seattle judge's block on that order.
An ongoing conversation, to be sure. And finally, the Milwaukee Brewers today unveiling a Bob Uecker jersey patch, honoring the iconic voice of the Brewers for 54 years.
He's ready and delivers. Morgan, a smash up the middle, base hit to center. Here comes Gomez around third. A throw and the Brewers win.
An iconic call from the iconic Bob Uecker, who passed away last month at the age of 90. So the patch is pretty cool. It was designed with Uecker's unique style in mind. If you saw his days on Johnny Carson, you'd often see one of those plaid sport coats. He had a closet full of them. So there is a hint of that. It's a very colorful patch that will appear on the arm sleeve of the Brewers uniforms, and it will remain throughout the 2025 season. It's going to start it with spring training. You'll see it during the first exhibition game, Saturday, February 22nd.
It's a sharp-looking patch.
It's pretty cool.
Sometimes they're a little bit big and an awkward shape. This circle with the ribbon around it looks really, really nice.
And in the Brewers' colors, of course, it's got a sort of a plaid treatment with Bob Uecker's signature right in the middle. If you'd like to see it, just text the word patch to our talk and text line. Text the word patch to 855-616-1620. Brewers also will have details on a public celebration of life event remembering Bob Uecker. That'll be announced later this spring. It's 11:12 on WTMJ. The Super Bowl is over. The NFL season is over. Commercials better than the game. We'll do a little roundup. We'll do it after this on WTMJ.
You can trade for whoever you wanna.
The biggest news we got right now, and it is huge, Jimmy Butler on his way to Golden State.
But I don't think you'll like the new prima donna.
And the Miami Heat have suspended Jimmy Butler indefinitely. This is his 3rd suspension just this month.
The Bucks host the Warriors at Fiserv Forum. Our Bucks Radio Game Day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hey, Greg Matzek here for Siding Unlimited. My friends at Siding Unlimited have done it again. Best in the U.S. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited. Local family-owned company. Been talking about them for over a decade now. Well, they've recently won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year Award. It's a mouthful, but think of it this way. Siding Unlimited, referenced and regarded as the best in the business from Pella. When it comes to installing those Pella windows, nobody does it better than Siding Unlimited. Top-notch installation by their amazing craftsmen. They've done it for us at our home. They'll do it for you as well. Take some ideas and thoughts up to their showroom in Brookfield. It's where you'll find Siding Unlimited and walk through the process of getting on the calendar, getting a project up and running, and you'll be amazed at just how incredible it is. The value of their craftsmanship is second to none. It's Siding Unlimited. Experienced, top of the line, great products, anything to beautify your home's exterior, you can do it. And keep in mind, Siding Unlimited will be at the Nary Home Show this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at State Fair Park. Check them out. I'm going to be there, as a matter of fact, on Friday from 2 to 4. So stop by and say hello. I'll go through all the different projects that Siding Unlimited has done for me over the years. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Are you ready to embark on a voyage like no other? At Fox World Travel, our specialty cruise desk creates unforgettable cruise experiences just for you. Explore the serene Mediterranean, the exotic Caribbean, or the breathtaking beauty of Alaska. We partner with top cruise lines including Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Enjoy personalized itineraries, exclusive deals, and expert guidance. From booking to boarding, we manage all the details for a stress-free experience. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO, press 2, and mention code radio to start planning.
Well, pretty nice day today. Sunny and a high of 30 degrees. You might see a little dusting of snow overnight that could linger into the morning hours tomorrow. Be a little chilly tomorrow with a high of about 20 degrees. Wednesday is where we're looking ahead to another snowfall, possibly some accumulation. We'll talk to Tyler Moore coming up in just a few minutes about that. Wednesday's high up to 27 degrees. It is 22 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:15. Well, that's it. Season over. As a matter of fact, it felt over. The game yesterday is, somewhere in the middle of the first quarter.
I was going to say about 5:45.
Oh, my gosh. Just awful, right? I didn't really have a horse in the race. A part of me sort of likes the idea of history and the Chiefs winning 3 in a row. Another part of me has Chiefs fatigue. But I'm certainly not an Eagles fan by any stretch of the imagination. So just kind of hoping for a good game and that my squares came through. Did not get a good game.
Not at all.
The squares didn't come through either.
No, I don't think anyone had, 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. There's 0% chance people had that one. Yeah, it was kind of a bummer from the jump, really. The Chiefs didn't look like they just didn't have it together.
Anything together. So credit the Eagles for doing what they did. They made life miserable for Patrick Mahomes. How did they celebrate in Philadelphia? That, Mike, is the sound of a street light being knocked down by 2 Eagles fans and the subsequent noise. Yeah, everybody's stomping on it and shattering the glass and the tin and steel, whatever it's made out of.
Why
and
not?
People getting video of the whole thing. Why do they do this?
I don't know why you would stomp out a light once it's down. I don't know. I don't know the joy. Knocking it over, sure. But why smash it up? I don't know.
They had greased the poles of the light standards in Philadelphia. They did that in New Orleans, too, because a lot of Eagles fans were in New Orleans.
Oh, of course.
Trying to protect the integrity of the street light. I mean, what did the light ever do to you?
Seems like it worked.
It's how they celebrated. As for the advertising, I was a little more dialed into the ads this year because the game was so bad. It was a mix of old and new. You had seals, you had donkeys, you had donuts, you had retro, you had contemporary, you had an assortment of celebrities.
From Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal in a 30-second mayonnaise ad to a 15-second spot featuring Bill Murray imploring,
I don't think I need professional help, but a skilled amateur.
Advertisers await the Nielsen results on audience. Super Bowl 58 set a record for viewership last year, but the game went to overtime. The Eagles had Super Bowl 59 wrapped up at halftime, so it's likely that a lot of viewers tuned out. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Yeah, so I wonder if you're an advertiser and you had that second half ad, maybe fourth quarter ad, you're kind of holding out hope that everybody was dialed in and stayed engaged with the broadcast. But there's a reason why people pay a premium to have advertising in the first and second quarter.
You could tell. I mean, I feel like the heavy hitters really came out at the very beginning. You saw a lot of celebrities in the first and second quarters. And then I don't know if it was just the game that kind of felt like a bit of a letdown, but I think the Taco Bell ad aired in the second half where it was, we don't do celebrities specifically. Thought that was a pretty good one. But yeah, I by the second half, I was kind of tuned out a little bit, I think. Just didn't have it in me.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Maybe it's a bit of a food coma that you're suffering, too,
Also
after eating 4 pounds of wings. If you shut it off after the halftime show, you missed maybe one of my favorite spots.
My brother is a famous soccer player? Yeah. So how famous are you? Like Matt Damon famous? Maybe Ben Affleck famous. That's a shame.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was actor Matt Damon and soccer sensation David Beckham. The commercial begins with Beckham's parents telling David that he had a twin brother also named David.
That was funny.
And the commercial was titled Other David. It was for Stella Artois. It was good. I like that. Damon was also referenced in the very first commercial of the game It was the Dunkin' ad featuring Ben and Casey Affleck.
Affleck's and Belichick. Dunk Kings!
Yeah, the Dunk Kings, a continuation of last year's Dunk King story. Damon replaced by former Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, of all people.
Sure. Bill's out there. He's got to do something. It's fine. It felt like a retread. I don't know.
So USA Today goes back and they try and grade essentially every commercial.
Yeah.
And they were head over heels over the Budweiser Clydesdale ad, which I thought was fine, but I didn't think it was even the best Anheuser-Busch ad of the night. I like the cul-de-sac party, where everybody came running into the big cul-de-sac party and people are shooting beers all over the place and Peyton Manning shows up with a fanny pack on.
That one was a little more pomp and circumstance-y. I feel like Budweiser's kind of cornered themselves in a little bit where like they can only do so much. You got to figure out a way to include the horses. You got to find a way to include the keg, and you got to find a way to like tug at the nostalgia thread a little bit. So I feel like they've kind of hemmed themselves into like we don't have a lot of options here. I liked it.
Star Power is what everybody's buzzing about today, including Harrison Ford's ad, which tried to unite Americans over electric vehicles.
My friends, my family, my work make me happy. This Jeep makes me happy, even though my name is Ford.
Yeah, it was pretty good. There was one very weird ad, and it was from the makers of Mountain Dew, their Baja Blast, where they turned a musician's seal into a seal. They stuck his face on the body of a seal and had him singing. That was a little off-putting, a little bizarre.
That one did not get rave reviews at the party I was at. The anecdotal review was not great.
Mountain Dew was also the brand that came out with the puppy, monkey, baby commercial back in the day.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Yeah, they're doing something. Nonetheless, Super Bowl commercials are over. All sorts of different places to recap, but hope you had a good time watching the game. Maybe it was the commercials that stole the show for you. What's the week of weather look like here? Our next snow event? Can we call it an event? Looks like maybe Wednesday. We'll check in with Tyler Moore coming up after this.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest.
Excel Custom Contracts and Siding Unlimited.
At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Well, time to book another grooming appointment for the dog. That's right, nails are getting long here. Time to make a call to the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, right down the road from where we live. It's where we take our Greyhound night for doggy grooming. You want a full-on spa day? Head to the Hounds and Tap. Just need a nail trim? No problem. The Hounds and Tap will take care of that, too. If you're looking for doggy boarding or daycare services, they can do it at the Hounds and Tap. If you got a longer than expected workday or maybe headed out of town for a couple of days for whatever reason, you rely on the Hounds and Tap. It's a state-of-the-art facility, beautiful, designed for dogs. Humans can have a fun time too with their food trucks and bingo and fundraisers. Every Sunday is a family day. Catch a drink, watch a game, get some food, hang out with your dog, and have some fun this winter, spring, summer, you name it. Never a bad time to visit the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, right off Silver Spring, state-of-the-art facility. There is nothing like it. Your dog's going to love it. You'll love it as well. Visit thehoundsandtap.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Greg Matzek, Mike Spaulding with you. It's the Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Happy to be joined by TMJ4 meteorologist. It's Tyler Moore. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Yeah, you as well. I was expecting a little more snow. We live a little north of 94. I thought was going to see a little bit more on Saturday. It started coming down sort of heavy. But it only lasted about, 40 minutes or so, and we had kind of a trace, just a little bit that dusted around, but nothing much. Did more areas in our listening area get more snow than what we received?
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer of an event, and we hate, when the area is like, oh, we might get snow, and then it kind of fizzles out. So, yeah, some drier air cut it into those totals, so there's only like a light dusting around the metro area along 94. There were a couple spots up towards Sheboygan picked up near 3 inches of snow, but I'll tell you, the northern half of the state did see some decent totals. We saw close to 10 up towards Green Bay, up towards Wausau, even over towards Eau Claire, kind of that corridor there picked up some pretty decent snowfall, about 6 to 10 inches. So it just missed us to the north with this one, and unfortunately, we just saw a light dusting of snow over the weekend.
I know, Tyler, coming down the pike, we have an opportunity for some snow here in southeast Wisconsin. Wednesday evening into Thursday? Do you think it'll be worth getting the snowblower out?
Yeah, I think some spots might need to fire up that snowblower for this one. So, yeah, it's looking like one of the bigger systems that we've seen so far this winter, just looking at some of the latest models coming in over the last 30 minutes or so. And it looks like we're in line for at least a few to several inches of snow. I will say Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha counties probably in line for the highest totals because of the storm track passing down to our south, and then also lake enhancement. We see this pretty often this time of year with the lake still unfrozen, and the winds that will be out of the northeast will kind of add to some of those snowfall totals along the lakefront from Milwaukee and points south. So, yeah, that would arrive midday Wednesday evening. The evening rush on Wednesday looks pretty tricky and kind of wrapping up throughout the overnight hours on Wednesday into Thursday morning. So, yeah, it's going to be a quicker system that punches through, but could have some heavier bands of snow, looking at lower totals to the northwest, highest totals towards extreme southeastern Wisconsin with that one.
So, Tyler, what is it about the lake that oftentimes can lead to increased snow across that side of the coast on Lake Michigan, but can also make a storm coming from the west, like a thunderstorm, dissipate?
Yeah, it's all about the time of year and the temperature profile. So in the summertime, what the lake does is it kind of limits the amount of instability because you can't warm up water as fast as you can warm up land. So we call that convective available potential energy, and that feeds the storms. Over water, you don't have that. So unfortunately, it kind of cuts down those storms. Now in the wintertime, it's the exact opposite. The storms can get their energy from the water and extra moisture from the water because the air temperatures are colder. So you get convective allowing temperatures where the water's warm right above the surface, and then it rises up through the atmosphere and add to some of those snow bands that develop in wintertime.
And Tyler, where are we at as far as snow historically? Are we? It seems like we're in a bit of a snow drought here in southeast Wisconsin, though I know you were just saying that the northwest part of the state kind of got a little bit more.
Yeah, we are definitely in a pretty good snow drought here in southeastern Wisconsin. We've only picked up a little over 12 inches of snow this winter. 3 of that was back in November, and then we only saw about 3 inches through January, so pretty low totals for January as we started off the new year. We need about 20 inches of snow to get back closer to normal. I do think there's a chance we take a pretty good dip out of that and maybe double our season snowfall total in 1 week is the potential that we have, because we have this storm on Wednesday, and then there is the chance for another one late Friday into Saturday. Also, I do want to mention tonight there is the chance for a couple light snow showers, although it won't be the biggest storm that we see this week. We could see a quick dusting of snow throughout the overnight hours tonight as well.
All right, good stuff. TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. Appreciate it, Tyler. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
You bet. It's 11:28 news coming up after this.
The largest industrial trade show in Wisconsin is the PFMA Plant Engineering and Maintenance Expo. Industrial professionals in charge of facility management and maintenance, purchasing, or manufacturing will save time learning about important advances all under one roof.
Skip the show day lines and go to pfmainc.com for fast and free pre-registration. The PFMA Expo. Free with free parking. February 19th and 20th at Washington County Fair Park in West Bend.
911, what's your emergency?
My kitchen is killing me.
Who?
My kitchen. It's awful. I'm literally dying. I hate it so much.
It's okay, ma'am. I have NARI officers en route. They will transport you directly to the NARI Home Show to find a remodeler.
NARI?
Yes, NARI. NARI members are the best in the industry. They will save you.
Hire a pro, not a cop. See us at the Home Show, February 14th through 16th at State Fair Park. Tickets at narymilwaukee.org.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You've been dealing with it forever, right? That ankle pain or the back or knee pain. It was a nuisance at first, and you kind of just put up with it. Now it's nearly debilitating for you, and it's affecting everything you do. It's time to get rid of that. Let's get rid of that pain that's always just kind of been there. You don't even remember how long it's been now. Call QC Kinetics. Groundbreaking treatments for arthritis pain, long-term relief. It is possible. Joint pain doesn't get better with time. So before it's absolutely debilitating, see if you're a candidate for this life-changing regenerative treatment. No painkillers, no surgery, no downtime. QC Kinetics regenerative treatments are sweeping the nation. Patients right here in southeast Wisconsin. They have a location in Mequon and another in Greenfield. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. And if it's easier on your schedule, they're even open on Saturdays. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, February 10th. Your top story, an overnight standoff in Madison.
I'm Mike Spaulding in for Jessica Ty. Hold off on scanning that QR code.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. Might see some snow later tonight. A dusting for most of us. A low of 15. AM flurries tomorrow and a high of 20. It's 22 and sunny in Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, now the latest target by the Trump administration's efficiency office. Here's ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
It was put in place after the 2008 financial crisis. It is a check on big banks. It's often tasked with looking at fraud and abuse from the nation's sort of biggest corporations. It's proud of the fact that it says that it has saved Americans $20 billion in basically lawsuits against some of the biggest corporations in this country.
President Trump now vowing to impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. European Union leaders say if that happens, expect counter tariffs. Egg prices soaring still due to bird flu impacting supplies. Trader Joe's now limiting egg purchases, it says, to 1 dozen a day per customer. Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles will finish the week how they started it, celebrating their win against the Kansas City Chiefs. The victory parade set for Friday. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 11:31. One man is in custody after an overnight standoff in Madison. Madison police and SWAT teams responding about 11:30 Sunday night to 6th and Horde Street on Madison's northeast side to a high-risk vehicle contact. Officers were disengaged about 2 a.m. So far, no injuries have been reported.
Federal funding changes are impacting Wisconsin's largest university. The National Institute of Health is set to reduce research funding for indirect costs to 15% starting today. NIH funding is UW-Madison's largest source of federal support, the school says, with some indirect cost funding supporting building out labs and infrastructure for clinical trials. UW officials say the reductions will impact student opportunities for research and disrupt research activity. The Medical College of Wisconsin, Marquette, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and the Marshfield Clinic Research Institute are also going to be impacted by NIH funding cuts.
Well, the penny could soon be taken out of circulation after President Trump has instructed the U.S. Treasury to stop circulation of the 1-cent piece.
What does that mean for the roughly 3 billion pennies produced in 2024?
They're doomed. It'll always be worth 1 cent.
Andrew Kimmel runs Paragon Numismatics in Mequon and tells Wisconsin's Morning News since the penny and nickel each cost more to produce than they're worth, he doesn't see them being used for too much longer.
What this would hopefully do is encourage people to bring their cents back out of their basement.
Kimmel adds cryptocurrency's mainstream acceptance could bring about physical coins' departure sooner rather than later. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Greenfield police are warning of a new scam now involving Amazon packages. They say that scammers are sending packages to residents with a QR code inside to find out exactly who sent that package. Once scanned, the department says scammers will get the personal information that's on your phone. So if you receive anything suspicious, be sure to contact your local police.
A Caribbean escape on Lake Michigan. Milwaukee Business Journal editor-in-chief Timothy Gibbons tells WTMJ about a large project underway at Discovery World.
The museum's filed a permit that will let it spend almost $1 million to upgrade the Caribbean tunnel tank, which is on the lower level of the property. Basically, this is a 65,000-gallon tank that has various Caribbean species. It has bamboo sharks and cowfish.
The Caribbean Aquarium is closed as work begins. The upgrade is expected to be complete by summer of 2026.
Remembering Mr. Baseball, the Brewers debuting a new jersey patch this season set to honor the late Bob Uecker. The patch has a gold and navy plaid print in homage of the colorful sports coats that Uecker wore throughout his career. It'll be featured on the sleeve of the Brewers uniform for the full season coming up this season. Pitchers and catchers, easy for me to say, report on Wednesday. To see it right now, though, you can text the word patch to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620.
Much more on the Brewers with Brewers President and Chief Operating Officer Rick Schlesinger coming up at about 11:37. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity. And when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best. And that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semper-Fi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground, and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper-Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper-Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi!
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected, and no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at goconnectchiro.com.
Come see Pal at the NARI Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary DesignWorks consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It's night 2 of a back-to-back for the Bucks. They'll take on the Warriors tonight at Fiserv Forum. Kyle Kuzma inserted into Doc Rivers' starting lineup, averaging 12.5 points and 7.5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, he's easy to fit in, but that's going to take a minute. We're not going to overload him. We want him to stay being an athlete because that's more important.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock on WTMJ, and it's report week for the Milwaukee Brewers pitchers and catchers due in Arizona on Wednesday, 1 week ahead of the team's first full squad workout.
And taking a look at your roads and your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic, things are looking pretty good across the system. Do want to note, though, there is a crash on the ramp from Greenfield Avenue to 41 southbound. There is a squad car on Greenfield kind of blocking that entrance ramp onto the highway. So if you're headed in that direction, just be aware. Unclear right now if you can actually get onto the ramp or not. But you'll see some flashing lights as they work to clean up whatever that incident was on the ramp to the freeway there. Elsewhere, though, across the system, things are looking good.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. Some light snow possible tonight at a low of 15. Lingering flurries on Tuesday, then partly cloudy and chilly, a high of 20. Could see some accumulation on Wednesday. Snow is likely with a high of 27. 23 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:38. Well, football's over. Time to think warm thoughts. Brewers pitchers and catchers reporting on Wednesday. The full squad will be there about a week from Wednesday in our first spring training broadcast, February 22nd. Mark your calendars. A game you can hear right here on WTMJ as the Brewers kick off the Cactus League season against the Cincinnati Reds. Joining us on the line right now, Brewers President and Chief Operating Officer, it's Rick Schlesinger. Hi, Rick.
Good morning.
Hey, want to get into this frozen sausage tour coming up in a minute because just the name sounds funny, but the team unveiling a Bob Uecker jersey patch today. This thing is incredible, Rick. I know graphic artists do incredible work in a short amount of time. This is an amazing patch and one of many tributes that folks and fans can expect from Mr. Baseball this upcoming season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough loss for us, and it's going to take a long time, but, we're going to do a series of things to honor Bob, and the first thing is this patch that sort of replicates his sort of loud sport coats that he wore in the 70s and early 80s when he was on Carson and others, making appearances on the Miller Lite commercials. So it's going to be on a patch on the jersey for the first spring training game and then throughout the entirety of the 2025 season.
Yeah, if you want to see what the patch looks like, it's very cool. Just text the word patch to our talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Tell us about the Frozen Racing Sausage Tour. This is new, but it's a way to try and band together community support around the Milwaukee Brewers, and it's a sort of a traveling show. What's the idea behind it?
Yeah, so we wanted to sort of reach out to the fans, Eau Claire and Appleton and Green Bay and Madison and and La Crosse and bring the sausages and go visit schools and talk to kids and just sort of Super Bowl's over, baseball season's starting, and we don't want to neglect our fans around the state, so it's kind of a fun little tour. I'll be on the tour, but I think, candidly, people care about the sausages. So we'll have some sausages racing outside, and they'll be warm, and it'll be fun. And it's a good way just to reconnect with our fans throughout the state.
And Rick, there's plenty of new stuff at the ballpark this upcoming season, but I think what we've heard the most about since discussing it late last month was the MLB go-ahead entry system. Can you just kind of clarify what this is going to be, because it's going to be affecting people's experience when they get to AmFam Field and hopefully, speed things up a little bit to get into the ballpark. What is the go-ahead entry?
Yeah, go-ahead entry, it's a pilot program we're introducing this year. It's been introduced in other ballparks with great success. We'll have it at two gates. One will be at home plate gate. One will be at the third base gate. It's a completely voluntary system where fans can opt in, and basically it's a facial recognition system whereby fans will go to the ballpark app and basically load a selfie onto it, and that selfie will be then linked to their ticket. So when they go into the ballpark, if they're not carrying a purse or a bag or anything like that, they literally can just walk through the magnetometers without taking their phone out, without showing their tickets. The system will recognize the fan, and it'll be a lot faster for them going through the gates. Now, if they bring a purse or something, a bag that's allowed, they still have to go through the process of having that searched. So that will slow them down. But if for a fan who just literally comes in with his wallet and his phone, if he joins this system, he'll be able to get in very quickly. And again, it's a way to speed people into the ballpark.
It's like a TSA pre-check for ballpark entry?
That's not a bad way to look at it. And again, if it's successful, we'll launch it at more gates. And again, it's completely voluntary. If somebody does not want to have facial recognition technology as part of their system, they can certainly go through the gates the normal way and show their tickets on their phone, have them scanned. But if fans are looking for a quicker, expedited way through the ballpark, this is it.
Rick, when the season ended in October, obviously carrying us up to the end of March when the new season begins, there's always some changes at the ballpark. And, of course, you have funding to do a variety of different things, including the winterization of the ballpark. What else is being worked on right now that fans might see or might not see when the season begins?
Well, there's a couple of projects that we're doing that are funding by the Brewers and not by the state. The one that people are asking a lot about is this food truck alley on the loge level in left field. So it's going to have, 3 different food trucks, plus a bar, plus some other foods that we're going to be offering, and it's going to reflect, the best of the Milwaukee food trucks. So we'll have some great local vendors with, special foods that you really can't get elsewhere at the ballpark, and we're talking to various food truck vendors right now and lining them up. And if things are successful, we'll keep them. But if we can also do a rotation with new food vendors, so it's going to have actual food trucks parked in the ballpark on left field and the loge level, which will be fun. And we're also changing out some of the retail store to make it a little more efficient. Again, all about ingress and speed and faster transactions. So people at the home plate retail store will notice that they're able to check out and buy things much more quickly. And we are building out some office space for our baseball operations people up in the right field. You'll see that going on under construction all season. with that to be completed probably in August or September.
Yeah, so that actually removes some seats from the ballpark's capacity, right?
Yeah, it's going to remove about 1,300 to 1,400 seats up on the right field corner of the terrace level. We are looking at plans over the next few years to add back capacity. I don't know that we'll add back fully 1,300 seats, but what I tell people is every year the capacity of the ballpark changes based on things we do. We've added a number of seats and a number of spaces over the years. This will take some of that back, but then in the next few years, I think we'll add a bunch of those seats back in different locations, whether it's all inclusives or group space or other social gatherings places.
Rick, I want to ask you about any future celebrations for Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. I know that early on in this process there was discussed, hey, we're going to have something later on this spring or perhaps in the summer. Any new information there for fans?
Not yet. We are talking with Bob's family and working out, logistics in terms of the right date. It's definitely going to be later this summer at the ballpark, where we're going to have, a celebration of life, and it'll be, a very extensive pregame ceremony before a game. We're just trying to figure out what the best game is based on the family's wishes and based on, the travel schedules of all the people that I know want to be here. So we'll make an announcement probably in the next few weeks.
Brewers Chief Operating Officer Rick Schlesinger and President joining us on the line right now. Single game tickets also go on sale this Friday. Rick, look, I know a lot of people are going to be buying chocolate and roses for their significant others celebrating Valentine's Day, but what better gift to incorporate into your Valentine's Day celebration than single game tickets to a Brewers game?
Absolutely. It's very romantic. In fact, my wife and I count how many years we've been married by how many seasons we've had in baseball. So when people ask us how long we've been married, we say 14 seasons. So I think it's a very romantic gesture for people to buy Brewers tickets. And, February 14th will be a busy day here with a lot of fun games, and single game tickets are always a big deal, and people are very excited to buy them starting at 9 a.m. on Friday.
It's crazy to think that the home opener is a month and 2 weeks away, March 31st.
Yeah, I'm still sort of recovering from October 3rd of 2024, but let's not revisit. But the best way to recover is, frankly, is to start regular season games. And we open against the Yankees in New York and then come here against the Royals on March 31st at 1:10 p.m.
Good stuff, Rick. Rick Schlesinger is the President and Chief Operating Officer for your Milwaukee Brewers. We'll check in again soon, Rick. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Greg.
You bet. The Frozen Sausage Tour, this is pretty cool. So it's going to be in Green Bay, Wausau, Eau Claire, La Crosse, and Madison this week. And they're also going to partner with schools. So nominations for Grand Slam Teacher open this week as well, encouraging fans to nominate a special educator in their lives. Brewers do a great job connecting with the community that way. But yeah, the mascots, the Racing Sausages, will be making appearances all across the state at different schools and locations throughout the course of this week. That's pretty cool. Unique experience, and the Sausages will be back in the Milwaukee area on Friday at the ballpark when those tickets go on sale.
Still go out there for the ticket purchasing. That was a big deal maybe 10 years ago, before the online ticket process kind of took over as the primary way people purchase tickets. So I appreciate the Brewers still doing a little something for people who want to bear the cold a little bit and be first in line to get their tickets.
Well, they used to do the Arctic tailgate, right? Where you'd go camp out and literally have tents set up outside of the pro shop. Gosh, outside of the pro shop. It was brutal, but people got behind it, and there was enough Miller Lite flowing around to keep everybody warm. But yes, perhaps not as much a need for that with how tickets are procured now. But yes, the Brewers have long celebrated the sale of single-game tickets. Good stuff from Rick, and that Bob Uecker patch is something else. Text the word patch to our talk and text line, 855-616-1620. 11:47 on WTMJ. Tesla wants to own dealerships in Wisconsin, and a court says no. We'll explain after this.
Oh, boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mind Chef is family-owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity. You buy one, get one free. Buy two, get two free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza, and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. JamesImaging.com.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, Accunet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an Accunet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Well, pretty nice day today. A high of 30 degrees, a lot of sun. Flurries could pop into the equation a little later tonight and linger into tomorrow morning. Any bit of accumulation is expected. Tomorrow's high just about 20 degrees. And then Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 27 and a chance for accumulating snow. We'll keep an eye on that. 25 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:51. Interested in buying a Tesla? That's the sound of a Tesla Model Y taking off. Sounds like a spaceship. If you live in Wisconsin, Mike, you will need to continue your search outside of the state for a Tesla. This after a judge denied Tesla's request to open dealerships in Milwaukee, Madison, Glendale, and Appleton. In fact, a state administrator upheld the ruling in December, and now Tesla is appealing the decision. But you might be saying to yourself, I've seen a couple of Tesla pop-up stores. Like, well, what are those all about? There is one in Madison. There is one in Milwaukee. So in 2020, Tesla opened up 2 galleries and service centers in the state of Wisconsin. One is in Madison, and one is right off Silver Spring Drive as Milwaukee turns into Menominee Falls. So you can take a look at vehicles there. You can learn more about Tesla. You can arrange services. But you cannot buy a Tesla from these centers. So if you want to buy a Cybertruck, for example, you'll have to go to one of the 27 states like Illinois or Minnesota that allow Tesla-owned and operated dealerships. They don't allow that in Wisconsin. Tesla can't pop up a store. Dealerships are owned by independents. So, for example, Ford does not own Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Mike Shannon owns Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, and they are able to sell Ford. Tesla's business model doesn't work that way. They're entirely different. And Wisconsin is one of those states that has a factory store law that bars vehicle manufacturers like Honda, Tesla, Jaguar, you name it, from owning a dealership. Now, it doesn't really come up in the news with all those other manufacturers because part of their model is to sell to independent dealerships, and then there's likely a markup, and then the vehicle is sold new at MSRP or on the used car lot with a bunch of money put into the head of it. So Tesla says, we want to operate our own dealerships. We think that's the best way to go. We would like to do this in Madison and in Milwaukee and in Glendale and in the Appleton area. But the court system in Wisconsin is rejecting that idea right now. They don't want to play the game.
Well, it's a brand new model. I mean, because if you're thinking about someone like a Ford or a Chevrolet or GMC, they're a little bit bigger in scale. I feel like Tesla, they're almost I'd call them still kind of boutique. I know they're very popular vehicles, but compared to the big auto manufacturers, they're not as large. And I think the play here for Elon Musk would be, look, if you allow us to purchase our own dealership and do direct to consumer, well, maybe we could drop prices down a little bit. Maybe we could be a little bit more effective in the sales model. This is one of those old school laws a little bit to me, Greg. You know how every once in a while you'll stumble across you can't walk an alligator on a street that starts with a number? You know, those kind of weird laws. That's what this reminds me of. I'd love to know why this still exists to this day.
Well, and Tesla's not changing their business model. They do not use franchised dealerships. In fact, that's part of their strategy. They use direct-to-consumer as a model that allows them to operate their showrooms and service centers on their own, right? So the idea anyway, is that these Tesla service centers are available for those who own a Tesla. If you purchased it in Illinois or Minnesota or wherever, fine, you could take it to a Tesla service center. They'll look at it. They'll help you out. Might even put you in a loaner if you need a loaner, but they cannot sell you a Tesla there. Tesla believes they can provide better customer service by operating their own showrooms and service centers. There's no middleman here, right? That there's no independent dealership that could implore a markup. Tesla Inc. estimates that Wisconsinites each year buy between 3,000 and 4,000 of its electric vehicles, and none of those sales happen in the state of Wisconsin. That's because of Wisconsin law, and it doesn't appear to be changing, though Tesla is appealing the court's rulings, but now multiple courts have put up the red flag on Tesla saying, no, we have a factory store law that bars vehicle manufacturers from owning dealerships. Interesting story. It's 11:56 on WTMJ. News coming up in a few.
Warmer temps are on the way. It's time for the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Spring Home Improvement Showcase on WTMJ. Get all the tips, tricks, and best practices to improve your home with our trusted partners, including Kohler Services, Yutka Fence, and Ridgetop Exteriors. So be listening for all of our interviews coming up on the air. Plus, we'll post everything for you. You can listen anytime at WTMJ.com. It's the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Spring Home Improvement Showcase, only here on WTMJ.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory's arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy, and helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Nestled in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest lies the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. Journey through 90 years of history in the timbered stone structure. It's gorgeous. And when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. An amazing deal at an amazing place. Choice steaks, ribs, seafood, pasta, a big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster, any entree, your second dinner's free. The Fox and Hounds desserts, and I love those, and huge ice cream drinks, buy one, get one free. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons on their bourbon list, over 100 fine wines, 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, a Top Choice Award winner for fine dining and most romantic restaurant. Take your family to the Fox and Hounds this week. Half your dinners are free. I love this place. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, February 10th. Your top story, an officer injured in New Berlin.
Mike Spaulding, another deadly plane crash.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. A chance for a light dusting of snow tonight and into the early morning hours on Tuesday. Tuesday's high 20 degrees under partly cloudy skies. It'll be chilly. Back up to 27 on Wednesday. Much better chance for snowfall, according to TMJ4's Tyler Mortz. 25 degrees and sunny. In Milwaukee at 12:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, an officer suffers a broken finger after a crash involving a wrong-way driver in New Berlin. Officers say their squad car avoided being hit by the drunk driver just before 10:30 last night. The driver was ongoing northbound in the southbound lanes of Moreland near Cleveland. In taking evasive maneuvers to avoid the crash, the officer hit another car in the process. Besides the officer, no one was injured. The 57-year-old man from New Berlin was arrested for an OWI causing injury.
More than 2 decades later, Milwaukee County's pension system scandal continues to rear its ugly head.
The county lump sum pension package approved in the year 2000 gave out pension sweeteners to workers, and it ultimately led to the resignation of County Executive Thomas Ament. The ripple effect of that money spent continues to linger. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says just last year, 3 county workers received checks of more than $1 million on top of their regular annual pension. In total, so far, the scandal has cost the county more than $400 million in lump sum payments. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, a federal judge has blocked President's executive order ending birthright citizenship for the children of people who are in the United States illegally.
From a U.S. district judge in New Hampshire came after 2 similar rulings by judges in Seattle and Maryland last week. An American Civil Liberties Union lawsuit contends President Trump's order attempts to upend a fundamental American constitutional value. Trump's Republican administration has asserted that children of non-citizens are not entitled to citizenship and is appealing the Seattle judge's block on his order. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Hopefully the president's pen has plenty of ink in it as we're expected President Trump to sign even more executive orders today. One of them will concern plans for a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum, which would include things that come from Canada and Mexico, this despite last week's border agreements. Another one of those executive orders is expected to focus on paper straws and would reverse a Biden-era measure that aimed at eliminating the federal government's use of those straws by 2027.
Authorities are sifting through the wreckage of a plane that crashed off the coast of Alaska to determine what caused it to go down in the icy Bering Sea. Investigators say the plane rapidly lost elevation and speed, but it's unclear why that happened. News Nation reporter Nick Smith.
The bodies of all 10 victims on that commuter plane have been recovered and identified. Now authorities are working to determine what caused that Bering airplane to crash about 30 miles southeast of Nome, Alaska. The plane disappeared Thursday with the wreckage located Saturday after an extensive search. The plane's wreckage is now resting on sea ice that officials describe as unstable.
At the time of the crash, the FAA had a camera monitoring system. Weather showed what happened was near whiteout conditions. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of green this afternoon. That's good news. The Dow currently up about 120 points at 44,422. NASDAQ up 220 points at 19,745. S&P up about 40 at 6,065. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:04.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi!
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. It's night 2 of a back-to-back for the Milwaukee Bucks, taking on the Golden State Warriors at Fiserv Forum. In 2 games, Kyle Kuzma averaging 12.5 points and 7.5 rebounds for Doc Rivers.
Yeah, he's easy to fit in, but that's going to take a minute. We're not going to overload him. We want him to stay being an athlete because that's more important.
Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 6 o'clock on WTMJ. The New York Jets moving on from Aaron Rodgers. According to NFL insider Jay Glazer, it's unclear if the 41-year-old Rodgers will continue playing next season. It's report week for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitchers and catchers due in Arizona on Wednesday. That's 1 week ahead of the team's first full squad workout.
Taking a look at your roads and your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving. Time save traffic. Things are looking good across the system. Still dealing with that accident on the ramp from Greenfield onto southbound 41. The traffic's not backing up or anything like that. Just something to be aware of if you're headed in that direction. We also have a disabled vehicle that has the left shoulder blocked heading westbound on 94 at 84th Street, though again, things are not being affected as far as travel times go. Elsewhere across the system, things are looking good.
Well, weather looking pretty good today. A high of 30 degrees, a lot of sun. Chance for a light dusting of snow tonight, and that could linger into tomorrow morning. Nothing major, though. Tomorrow's high just 20 degrees. Snow likely on Wednesday with a high of 27. It's 25 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek, and in for Jessica Ty, it's Mike Spaulding.
Hour number 2 of Wisconsin's Midday News. Greg and Mike with you until 1 o'clock. Jessica due back on Wednesday, taking some much-deserved time off. I'm not sure if she was into the Super Bowl yesterday. At the Bucs game, then into the Super Bowl. All excited, had the spread all laid out, some Philly cheesesteak sliders, some Kansas City pulled chicken, right? We even had our dog try and pick what helmet he sniffed that would help determine the winner.
Did he win? Did he pick correct?
He sniffed the Chiefs helmet, so we're going to have to work on that for next year. Everything was pointing to a great night. Had some friends over, and then about halfway through the first quarter, we were just kind of leaning into the commercials and going back for seconds.
You were really leaning in, hoping the Chiefs can overcome a 17-0 deficit. Literally, within the first 30 minutes of the actual game itself, it seemed like as soon as we sat down, the Eagles had scored and things weren't looking good, and they were driving again. So I'm with you. The food party was great. The commercials were fun. Company was good. Game, bit of a snoozer.
Full disclosure, we had Jeff Levering and his family over at our house. They live in Menominee Falls, not too far from us. And when it was 17-0, the Chiefs had the ball with a chance to go down and score before the half. And I said to Jeff, I was like, this is classic Chiefs. They come down, they score. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. They will score again. And all of a sudden, bing, bong, bing. It's 17-14, and we've got a game. Well, then Patrick Mahomes threw an interception. Zach Bond, the Brown Deer native, picked it off, and that was about it.
Let me ask you this. When you have a Jeff Levering at your house, do you find him muttering under his breath, like announcing the game himself, just because he can't help it? You know, he's doing a little play-by-play on his own, or no?
We did try and turn down the sound and just let him go for a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
He came back with a mouthful of sliders, and it was tough. It was a tough scene. He had some interesting nuggets on Tom Brady, though. Thought that was kind of a fun conversation.
Hey, Tom, real quick feedback from a fellow play-by-play guy, yeah.
Some big stories we're on top of here. It's 12:10 on WTMJ.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A federal judge in Boston holding a hearing today on President Trump's government workers buyout plan. ABC's Peter Haralambous is there.
As more than 65,000 federal employees have already accepted the Trump administration's buyout offer that's set to expire at midnight, a federal judge in Boston today will consider whether to block the president and Elon Musk from carrying out their unprecedented plan to reduce the size of the federal workforce. 3 federal unions, with the support of 20 Democratic attorneys general, have argued that the Office of Personnel Management's buyout offer is an unlawful ultimatum to force the resignation of thousands under the threat of mass termination. Peter Haralambous, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, Musk now taking aim at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Agency employees have been told to stay at home and halt all work this week. We're going to talk more about this with Tim Sheehy coming up and how Wisconsin workers are potentially affected. I talked with someone over the weekend who says this is all very unorganized, that the contract language is different for what he received than somebody else, what they received. There's really no difference in their status as an employee or their age. The language is very inconsistent, which is leading them to have trouble trusting what the government is offering as part of this buyout. So we'll dive into that more with Tim coming up in about 5 minutes.
Meanwhile, President Trump is planning today to announce another round of tariffs. These would impact steel and aluminum imports, could also include imports from Canada and Mexico. That tariff amount would be 25%. ABC's Alexis Christoforous on how it could affect your pocketbook.
Fizzy drinks, right? Carbonated drinks. They use aluminum in their cans. Those prices would most likely go up as they did during his first administration. Also, think about household items like pots and pans. Also, sporting equipment like golf clubs made of aluminum, bats for baseball made of aluminum. So there are lots of different areas.
Yeah, soft drinks, including beer, could also go up due to the amount of aluminum that is used. The president, meanwhile, says he also plans on announcing new reciprocal tariffs this week, which could match other countries' tariffs on U.S. goods dollar for dollar. The moves, Greg, come as the president's expected to sign another round of executive orders this afternoon.
And finally, one major event down, one to go for the city of New Orleans. After successful implementation of a security plan for the Super Bowl, the city turning its sights to Fat Tuesday and Mardi Gras.
The truck ramming that killed 14 people on New Year's Day prompted the addition of stepped-up security. That's to stay in place through the next big event.
Just more worried about after Mardi Gras. How's it going to be?
Pat Weigesback lives in the New Orleans area.
You can only have so much, so maybe it's a deterrent to keep the crazies out of here, you know?
Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, falls on March 4th this year.
It's ABC's Jim Ryan. They had all sorts of agencies tackling the Super Bowl. You had the FBI, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. Of course, President Trump was there.
Yep.
He was at the Superdome yesterday. One notable arrest happened during the halftime show. A performer was detained by police after he hopped off the stage. He started running around waving a Palestinian and Sudanese flag on the field. And part of the criticism of the halftime show was that it felt political to some, that it was a statement made by an artist, knowing that President Trump was at the game yesterday. Serena Williams was on stage, and there's this whole feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake that has simmered. So a lot of messages behind the performance last night.
A couple things on that performer. One, the person who ran on the field with the flag was an actual dancer. Like they had snuck the flag into their outfit and kind of broke away from formation. Also, New Orleans police say that person who was arrested will not face any criminal charges.
12:14 on WTMJ. He is back. We check in with senior advisor to the MMAC, Tim Sheehy, after this.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes. Olympic kite surfer Bruno Lobo.
I heard someone scream, and then I recognized that was someone drowning. I can use this sport to save a life, so yeah, this is my biggest trophy.
Everyday hero, Thursdays at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac has some great news, and I'm happy to share it with you. It's the once-a-year auto sale going on right now. Great timing to connect with Holiday and explore all that's new in automotive. You'll get some big-time money-saving offers as well. You'll get more for your trade, all while navigating today's car market comfortably and confidently. You could choose at Holiday from an impressive selection of the newest models, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and more. You can also check out the incredible value and peace of mind benefits included with a GM certified pre-owned model. Fun, simple, pressure-free. It's just different at Holiday. It's the way it works. And it's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the state. I'm one of them, one of those loyal fans. I know from my own experience, you will be in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. Showtime is go time. Treat yourself to a test drive. Find yours. Hey, drive it home today during the auto show sale going on at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac. Visit them online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
30 degrees your high today, a lot of sun. Nice day today. Some snow could work its way into the equation later tonight. Just a dusting that could linger into tomorrow. Struggling to get up to 20 on Tuesday. 27 the high on Wednesday with a better chance of accumulating snow. It's 25 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:17. Well, it's been a while since we've connected with senior advisor to the MMAC. He is back after his long holiday. It's Tim Sheehy. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Greg. Hey, Mike.
Good to have you here. So you're not in studio today. A little Super Bowl flu today, Tim. It's okay. You can be honest.
No Super Bowl flu. It was whatever plague my grandkids are carrying.
Yeah.
They're cute on the outside, but germ machines on the inside.
Right. Oh, well put. Hey, we've been discussing quite a bit on the program really over the last week or so. A lot of discussion of reducing the federal workforce. And it, of course, is being talked about on a global level with roughly 2 million federal employees. But what is the potential impact here in the state of Wisconsin, Tim?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and the perspective is important here. There are about 157 million people that work outside of a farm in the U.S. So if you think about federal workers, they're a really small part of that economy, about 3 million federal workers. And interestingly enough, I learned that doesn't include the 1.3 million that are active duty military. For some reason, they're not counted as employees. So if you think about 3 million federal workers, 42% of them either work in the military, in a non-active duty role, the VA, or Homeland Security. So it's interesting when we talk about 60,000 federal employees, in a sense, interested in taking that early buyout. It's really only about 1.7% of the federal workforce. And that brings us to the discussion on Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, there are about 3 million people working outside of a farm. And we only have 18,000 federal workers here. So that's less than 0.6% of Wisconsin's workforce. And most of those employees in Wisconsin, interestingly enough, work for one of the VAs here in the state.
So, Tim, is there any worries? It doesn't really sound like it, that a number of federal employees taking this buyout could see a spike in unemployment or could have some reciprocal effect once you get past September. What about next January? Things along those lines. And someone in your role, I'm sure you've been able to look ahead and forecast a little bit. You don't see really any issue with if 60% of people take the buyout?
No, I mean, if 60,000 federal employees actually took the buyout, that would be like a company reducing its workforce by 1.5%. So it wouldn't have a big impact, and certainly not in Wisconsin. However, if you look at some states, for example, like Virginia or D.C. or Maryland, they have as many as 6% of their employees in their state work for the federal government. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they'd be affected, but it could have an impact in states like that.
Tim, a federal employee who lives in Wisconsin, works in Milwaukee, who I spoke with over the weekend, said this all feels very rushed. And I asked him to explain that a little bit more. He said the language being presented in contracts are different. In some contracts, it says and stipulates if you accept this, you cannot carry a full-time exempt job until your buyout is complete. In others, that language does not exist. Email after email sent to a federal employee in Milwaukee urging her to accept the buyout. She finally decided to go ahead and do it and then was rejected. It leaves people wondering if they can trust what the administration is doing, if that money will truly be there or if it won't. If you're closer to retirement, you might be willing to roll the dice on that. But if you're in your mid-40s or maybe early 50s and you've got a long runway ahead of you, you can understand the hesitation in accepting that buyout. They don't trust it.
No, I get that very much. It's very personal when it's your job. A lot of devil in the details. I'm not sure I understand the argument, quite frankly, about not having money, because what they're doing is they're paying people through September, if I understand it, in an overall sense. They would be on the payroll anyways, and would have the budget to do that. So I would assume the money's there, but I individually, yes, would be very careful about reading the fine print before I decided to pull the pin on a job like that.
Tim, have you started hoarding up any pennies you possibly have in your house or in your car's cup holder or in a jar on a shelf? The president also says no more pennies. So from an economic standpoint, what does it actually mean? I think it makes a lot of sense for people, but again, forecasting down the road, any unforeseen issues that we could be presented with?
Yeah, it's interesting. The penny came into being in 1793. And stunningly, there's $250 billion pennies in 250 billion pennies in circulation right now. That's about 700 a person. And the problem with the penny is twofold. One, it costs about $3, almost 4 cents to produce a penny worth a penny. And the second problem is, and we all know this, we all get pennies that change, but we never use them. So something like 2/3 of pennies aren't in circulation. And the problem is nobody's using them. They cost a lot to make. And we all have them sitting in our jars or desk drawers or in the middle of our couches. And nobody knows quite what to do with them. And if we put them back in circulation, nobody would know how to store them. So it's a really interesting problem, and one people have talked about for a long time, and Trump is putting in front of us.
And can we just make the $2 bill more popular, too, while we're at it? Right? Eliminate the penny. Do we need the single? Maybe make the $2 bill a comeback thing. I like the $2 bill.
I do. I love it. And, we should do that. People talk about the penny going away, then we're going to have to use the nickel. The nickel costs 13 cents to make. So I'm not sure this gets any more sane as we move up the ladder. But I really think it's something we ought to take a look at. A lot of other countries have gotten rid of their lowest denomination coin.
Been talking about the Super Bowl a little bit today, and the prevailing question is, at what point did you turn the game off versus did you watch the game? Everybody watched, but most people turned off at a certain time. How did Wisconsin win in last night's Super Bowl, Tim?
Yeah, very interestingly. First of all, we won because the Badgers had a player on each team, Leo Chenal, who had a great game. Played with my son at Wisconsin, and Zach Vaughn, who played with my son at Wisconsin, also had a great game for the Eagles. So Wisconsin had a Badger on each side that showcases well for us. And then one of the commercials, Google highlighted the Wisconsin Cheese Mart. So I figured we won no matter who lost.
That is an interesting nugget on the Cheese Mart, and an interesting nugget on Leo Chenal. He actually played kicker last night. He did the onside kick toward the end of the game in the fourth quarter. It was an interesting play.
Exactly. Very interesting play.
New rules in the NFL. Tim Sheehy joins us every Monday here, senior advisor to the MMAC. Hey, feel better, Tim. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks very much.
Yep, great to have you on. Tim Sheehy joins us every Monday here on WTMJ. Dad, did you notice that? Leo Chenal, the former Wisconsin Badgers linebacker, lined up to perform the onside kick. There's all sorts of new rules now with the onside kick. You can't surprise anybody with it. You can't do it until the fourth quarter. And then you have to announce that you're going to do an onside kick.
Kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit.
A little bit. I like the surprise element, but the NFL is trying its hardest to eliminate any sort of collision. The kickoff's just going to go away at some point. But, I looked. I was like, man, that kicker looks jacked. Oh, it's because it was a linebacker that actually performed the onside kick.
It was a pretty good kick, too. It bounced around a lot.
Yes.
It bounced off three guys.
And the idea is he's a linebacker, so he is used to darting into traffic and taking a hit. And the goal was for him to kick it and recover it. The Eagles got it. Chenal didn't pounce on it.
But good idea, though. You're adding an extra body.
I like it.
Not the kicker who's just going to run in there and get killed.
It's like the Packers using the tight end for that quarterback sneak tush-push thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
A little manipulation of the rule and the play. 12:26 on WTMJ. News coming up.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why John Neal started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We understand how stressful this can be. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's 844-222-1192 or rightchoicetax.us.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home.
clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
New charges for the man believed to be with a missing pregnant teenager from Dodge County.
Eric Bilstad.
Milwaukee Health Department now identifying lead dust and lead paint levels exceeding allowable standards.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
We got southbound on 41, backing up from about Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, February 10th. Your top story, continued pension problems in Milwaukee County.
I'm Mike Spaulding in for Jessica Ty. Outrage in Oak Creek.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. Chance for a light dusting of snow tonight and into the early hours of Tuesday morning. Partly cloudy on Tuesday with a high of 20 degrees. Next chance for snow on Wednesday with a high of 27.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. As fragile ceasefire talks are underway for Phase 2 in Gaza, President Trump in an interview with Fox News' Brett Baer doubling down on plans for the U.S. to take over Gaza for redevelopment.
In the meantime, I would own this. Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful pice of land.
Would the Palestinians have the right to return?
Spent. No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing, much better. In other words, I'm talking about building a permanent place for them.
Arab states have rejected the plan to displace Palestinians. Elon Musk's government efficiency office now targeting the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which fights fraud and abuse by corporations. Meantime, the Vatican's charity says the U.S. plans to gut USAID agency were reckless and could kill millions. In Guatemala, at least 51 are dead after a bus crash outside the capital. Officials say the bus ran off a bridge. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:31. More than 20 years later, the Milwaukee County pension scandal keeps rearing its ugly head.
The county lump sum pension package approved in the year 2000 gave out pension sweeteners to workers, and it ultimately led to the resignation of County Executive Thomas Ament. The ripple effect of that money spent continues to linger. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says just last year, 3 county workers received checks of more than $1 million on top of their regular annual pension. In total, so far, the scandal has cost the county more than $400 million in lump sum payments. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Prison time for selling drugs at a daycare facility. Tatiana Quinones of De Pere will spend 8 years behind bars for selling fentanyl at a parking lot, or in the parking lot of a daycare in Green Bay. A criminal complaint obtained by our news partners at NBC 26 show that a confidential informant exchanged $350 with the woman for 50 fentanyl pills. They were then stored inside of a bathroom of the 1-year-old room. The woman supervised the children at that daycare. Investigators said they also found drugs inside of her home.
Well, everyone is safe after multiple vehicles were on fire in a Madison grocery store parking lot. Firefighters found a vehicle fully engulfed in flames in the Woodman's parking lot on Milwaukee Street Saturday morning. They also found a small fire under the front bumper of a vehicle parked right next to it. In all, 5 vehicles were damaged, no injuries. The owner of the main vehicle said the car had been running fine and security footage showed no suspicious activity. The cause of the fire is still unknown.
In Oak Creek,
Shut it down! Shut it down! Who put that sticker on that car? Shut it down!
outrage after a woman says she was the victim of a racist encounter at the Coons Buick GMC car dealership. It's in Oak Creek. Michaela Starks, who is biracial, says she found the N-word typed onto her service sticker by a technician at the Coons location. That's back in January. Starks claims that the dealership then called her, saying they needed to retrieve a tool that they had left in the car, though she claims it was an attempt at a cover-up.
Their regional manager suggested that they did this in an attempt to prevent any further harm. However, they sent the same racist employee who typed that into the comment section and adhered it to my windshield to my home address.
In a since-deleted Facebook post, the dealership said the slur on the sticker was the result of a joke between co-workers. The dealership says that the employee involved has since been fired, adding that additional steps are being taken to prevent the incident from happening again.
Well, President Trump says he's instructed the U.S. Treasury to stop minting new pennies.
And that means billions of 1-cent coins could soon be rendered obsolete. Though Andrew Kimmel with Paragon Numismatics in Mequon tells Wisconsin's Morning News that's been the case for some time.
The number of pennies struck since 1793 is 240 billion. Of that number, a tiny percentage are actually in circulation.
And each of those pennies costs more than 1 cent to make. As for those hoping their pennies currently gathering dust will suddenly uptick in value,
they're doomed. Of course not. They'll always be worth 1 cent.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Would you travel hundreds or even thousands of miles to spear a sturgeon? That's a question that many answered yes to at Lake Winnebago this weekend, as many thousand people did just that, including an angler from the UK who spoke with NBC 26.
We met a guy online. He was saying this is like an amazing event, once in a year type stuff. So he promised us a fish. We didn't catch it, but we drunk lots of beer, so that was all good.
The DNR says the 290 sturgeon were harvested in the Winnebago system this weekend. Spearing season continues until February 23rd.
Night 2 of a back-to-back for the Bucks. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:35.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It's night 2 of a back-to-back for the Bucks, taking on the Warriors at Fiserv Forum. Kyle Kuzma into Doc Rivers' starting lineup.
Yeah, he's easy to fit in, but that's going to take a minute. We're not going to overload him. We want him to stay being an athlete because that's more important.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. New York Jets are moving on from Aaron Rodgers, according to NFL insider Jay Glazer. It's unclear if the 41-year-old Rodgers will continue his career next season. And in college basketball, Marquette Golden Eagles tumble 7 spots to number 18 in the latest AP Top 25 poll. The Wisconsin Badgers move up 5 spots to number 16. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
And taking a look at your roads and your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving, time save or traffic. Travel times are looking good across the system this afternoon, though we are dealing with a bit of an issue onto the on-ramp. So heading onto the exit ramp to North Avenue, southbound on I-43. There is a crash there. It does look like it. Exit ramp might actually be closed right now. So if you're headed in that direction, you may want to skip the exit ramp onto North Avenue, find an alternate way around there. Again, travel times are looking fine for right now. Wouldn't be surprised if they start to slow down just a little bit, and you will not be able to get off the highway onto North Avenue. Elsewhere across the system, things are looking good.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 30 degrees. Pretty nice day. Light dusting of snow possible tonight, a low of 15. Those flurries could linger into Tuesday morning. Then partly cloudy, chilly, and a high of 20. Snow likely on Wednesday. Accumulations also likely, and a high of 27. Thursday's high just 19 degrees. 27 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, President Trump is forging ahead with his plans for immigration. He's also pressing ahead with his agenda to shrink and reshape the federal government, and he's tabbed Elon Musk for doing so. And to this point, it's really unlike anything we've ever seen, as we welcome in ABC political analyst Steve Roberts. Hi, Steve.
Good morning. And you're right about this. I mean, I've covered politics for most of 60 years. I've never seen anything like this. Because the basic American system is predicated on one principle, that any body or any institution that has power is checked and balanced by other institutions that have power. But think about how Musk has virtually no accountability apart from, his constituency of one, Donald Trump. He's never been elected to anything. Trump was elected twice. But Musk has never faced the voters, never had to campaign. It's an essential passage to power in America, that you have to seek it from the public, but he's never done that. He's never been appointed to any kind of post that requires Senate confirmation. You look at people like Pete Hegseth, they were very controversial as Secretary of Defense, but at least they had to go to Capitol Hill, they had to meet with senators, they had to answer questions, they had to be scrutinized by Senate staffs. Musk has never been through anything like that. Thirdly, he owns one of the world's most powerful social media platforms, X, which means that he has total unfiltered access to the media ecosystem. He doesn't have to answer questions. He doesn't have to sit for interviews as a way of communicating, because he can communicate directly through this very powerful system, which he also has also altered the algorithms to make sure that people get in their feeds, get his comments. And fourth, virtually everything that Trump and Musk have done has been done through executive orders. That means Congress has been virtually completely sidelined in the decision-making process. And the one lever of power the Democrats have left, they don't control any, either of the houses of Congress or anything else in Washington, except for one thing. They still have the filibuster power in the Senate. But that is a completely moot power at the moment because there's no legislation. This is all being done by executive order. So what you have is this enormously powerful figure, the richest man in the world, with virtually no checks and balances of any kind.
Yeah, there was no Senate confirmation hearing for Elon Musk, right? I mean, just the process of getting all those other Trump appointees into their position, it had to go through that system of checks and balances and conversation and at some points grilling. That never really happened for Musk. So this unelected power is certainly unprecedented. I know Democrats are up in arms over this, Steve, but how are Republicans reacting to what Musk is trying to do and his position?
Look, I think that for now, Musk and Trump are very popular. There's a new poll out today, CBS poll, showing Trump's favorability up to 53%, which is significantly higher than he usually runs. And there's no doubt that, look, for many years, Donald Trump has told the American public, Washington is Gomorrah on the Potomac. It is a den of bloated bureaucrats and Eastern coastal elitist insiders. And so clearly MAGA Nation is cheering on what Trump and Musk are doing. And they were very smart in firing, their missiles originally at the Agency for USAID, because the constituents who benefit from USAID are in Botswana. They don't vote in Boston. But at some point, whether it's in whether it's in Milwaukee or anywhere else, these cuts are going to start being felt by real people and real constituents. Sure, a lot of Americans hate the federal government. You're a small business owner in Milwaukee, you hate the federal government. I understand that. And there's been a lot of excesses and overregulation. But the fact is there's also a myth out there that somehow other people benefit from the federal government, the undeserving poor. But then this goes back to Ronald Reagan's campaigns against the federal government. But it's not true. The fact is every single citizen in Milwaukee and everywhere else directly or indirectly benefits. You commute to work over a new highway, that's federal funding. And there are countless ways every day in which federal benefits actually filter through the entire fabric of a community. So one of the things to keep your eye on here is what happens when this is no longer just a show in Washington, when folks out in Milwaukee and everywhere else are cheering on Elon Musk, and suddenly their own lives are affected by these cuts in federal programs. And the second thing to keep your eye on, even conservative Republicans in Congress who are cheering on Trump and Musk now, but they are basically sidelining the whole institution of Congress. And at some point, I think at least some of these Republicans are going to say, wait, we were elected too. And the Constitution says that we get to make decisions about money. And you can't just abolish a federal agency Congress created on your own. And so there's a looming tension out there in the future between Congress and this unbridled executive power. But that's in the future. In the short run, the only real speed bump that I see are the federal courts, because they have ruled in several cases already against some of the things that Trump and Musk are trying to do. But by and large, they're riding a wave, but of popularity. But there are speed bumps in the road ahead.
That only feels temporary, though, to me, Steve. Right? So if things are temporarily halted here for Musk and Trump's plans, it could be destined for the Supreme Court, and they have a conservative majority and maybe a different view of executive authority. So is it just a stopgap? Is it just a sort of a way to slow the tidal wave momentarily?
We don't know. I mean, it's fascinating to think about the role of the federal courts here, because judges, as most of our listeners know, are singular in the whole political firmament, because they're the only people who have lifetime appointments. And so even a number of the judges who ruled against Trump were originally appointed by Republicans, including by Trump himself. So it's not automatic that Republican-appointed judges, including those sitting on the Supreme Court, are necessarily going to rule with Trump. Now there is a 6-3 conservative majority, but you have to understand what conservative means. And in many ways, Trump is not a conservative at all. What he's doing right now is not conservative at all. It might have the goal of reducing government, which is basically a conservative principle, but it's not being done in a conservative manner. It's being done in a radical manner. That, if you believe if you're a true conservative, you believe in the balance of power, you believe in the Constitution, you believe that power has to be accountable. Those are bedrock conservative principles, and that's the last thing that Elon Musk is doing right now. So one of the very interesting questions down the road, if and when some of these questions come to the Supreme Court, there might be conservative goals, but very radical means of achieving those goals. And so how does the Supreme Court thread their way through those conflicting ideas? It's one of the things to really keep your eye on going forward.
We will certainly do so. ABC political analyst Steve Roberts joining us in Wisconsin's Midday News. We appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
Anytime.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Yours brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. What a day it was at Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday. They was sold out, standing room only at the Sportsbook. The VIP deck was packed, as you might imagine. It was the first ever opportunity for Potawatomi Sportsbook to have and carry and watch the big game. That's right, they opened last March, and of course, the big game played in February. Incredible day at Potawatomi Sportsbook. You can pop by tonight and watch some basketball. Pop by any night. Bring some friends. Enjoy some food from the kitchen. You can also enjoy that full-service bar, that VIP deck, and the incredible 2,000-square-foot video wall. They do it right at Potawatomi Sportsbook, all part of the brand-new, redesigned, and reimagined Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. You got to check it out. We'll be there on Wednesday with the weekly wager. Would love to see you there at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Nice day today. Plenty of sunshine and a high of 30 degrees. A chance for a dusting of snow later tonight into the early morning hours on Tuesday. Tuesday's high just into the low 20s. Looks like a good chance for snow accumulation on Wednesday with a high of 27 degrees. It's 27 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:51. Time for the eggs and coffee portion of Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ. Egg shortages getting worse due to bird flu. More stores now implementing limits on the number of eggs that you can buy.
With social media lighting up, showing some people overbuying eggs and grabbing up everything a store has to offer, kind of like toilet paper during the pandemic. Now stores, including Trader Joe's, are implementing limits. Trader Joe's telling ABC News it will limit customers to 1 carton of eggs per day. No more filling up a shopping cart with eggs. Costco stores are also beginning to limit egg purchases as more Costco customers are complaining eggs are sold out within a few minutes of a store opening. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Yeah, so interesting story. It's now to the point where a dozen of eggs and then the organic cage-free eggs are like the same price.
Yeah.
So you're paying anywhere from $5.50 to $6 for that dozen. Could be the standard dozen that you normally buy or organic and cage-free.
So are we banking on the price that they're going to continue to go up? Is that why we're hoarding eggs collectively as a society? I mean, how many eggs do you eat?
I don't really know. I guess if the cost is that significant, why are you trying to buy them all? Are you just thinking that eggs are going to go away? I mean, there is a shelf life for eggs, and I don't know, maybe you're a restaurant, and if you have to buy a pallet from Costco, and that's how you go about your business, so be it. But a dozen at a time is typically fine for our household.
Maybe 18, that little like medium-sized large package for sure. But I have spoken to people who work in bakeries that are concerned about not the limiting amount you can buy, but the cost of them is becoming very cost prohibitive. You've heard about Trader Joe's, also Waffle House. I know we don't have them up here, but a little south of us is implementing like a surcharge if you're getting eggs on your meal. I wouldn't be surprised if more restaurants kind of buy into that idea.
Yeah, the Waffle House thing, right?
Yeah,
we did that last week, as a matter of fact. They got a big Starburst sticker on their menu saying 50-cent surcharge per egg. So if you get that 3-egg omelet, it's going to cost you an extra $1.50. Yes, we will keep watching. Egggate 2025. If you stayed up a little late last night watching the Super Bowl, a little sluggish on Monday morning, Starbucks, creative marketing here, they're offering reward members. So if you got the app, they're rewarding them with free coffee today. It's a part of the promotion that Starbucks is calling Starbucks Monday. So you got to be part of the rewards program. You can stop in for a free tall, hot, or iced brewed coffee at any time. So Gina was all excited about this morning.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
She sent me the link to the story. She told me about it because people were telling her about it. Gina and coffee go hand in hand. It is her love language, as she once explained to me. So she escaped to Starbucks and came back with a gallon of what? What did you get?
I had I'm a poor example because I didn't actually use the free tall. I got a venti vanilla cream cold brew.
Okay, so therein lies the story behind the story. Yeah. Gina bought one of the largest coffees that you are allowed to purchase legally at Starbucks. And she bypassed the whole free coffee to get what she really wants.
Smart move. Well, not by Gina, but by Starbucks.
You spent, what was that, like $11? What is it, $30? What does that cost?
Gosh, I think it's probably, I don't look at the price, maybe $7.
Yeah, okay, price doesn't matter. You can't put a price on happiness.
True.
But you just totally decided to kick the free coffee idea to the curb, and you got your venti.
I got both. I didn't personally drink the tall. I gave the tall away so that I could get a bigger size.
Who did you give it to?
The one and only Greg Hill.
So is it somebody that you knew at least?
I did offer, Greg, for the record, I did offer you coffee, and you said, no, I've already had it today.
No, I did. One coffee a day, totally fine, and I was good with that. And then I spilt, of course, a little bit, and it's a different story for another time. But yes, if you're a rewards member, and Gina was one of the founding members of the Rewards Club for Starbucks, you can get a free coffee. There are limitations, apparently. None of the new Valentine's Day drinks are on there. Right, you got to be pretty basic with your order.
Yeah, which is another reason I didn't really want to do it.
Okay.
I like the extras.
Fair enough. Going to get your coffee on, Mike?
Smart move. Yeah, I'm going to.
All right.
I'm actually headed there after the show.
All right. Fantastic.
Can I get round 2 with you?
They're going to know that it's you, though. They're not going to allow you again to get a free one.
No, but I'll get one just in general.
Just going to get another one?
I don't mind ordering from the same
person
twice.
For your health, I'm going to say no. I'm going to go alone. But it is a brilliant move. They didn't have to spend $8 million on a 30-second ad because they're getting people to notice and just take advantage of what do you want. You said earlier, Greg, you want this to be a national holiday. People are tired. They're going to go into the store. It's a good move.
It is a really good point about Super Bowl advertising and what it costs. Now, if you're trying to feverishly download the app right now and become a rewards member, sorry, you had to be a rewards member by midnight, February 9th, or 11:59 p.m. to be exact. Pacific time, because that's where Starbucks is.
Do you have the app?
I do. I'm an app guy, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can save, no doubt. 12:56, news coming up. Spaulding's going to get coffee. Gina is going to get her 4th coffee of the day.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Lots of things that should not be in your car right now because it is that cold outside.
If you needed to be reminded to not leave this in your car in the bitter cold, you really need to reevaluate your life choices. It says loved ones. Well, I took Grandma for a ride. Did you bring her in? Oh, son of a... No! She's been out there for 4 hours. She looks like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining.
Sometimes the obvious has to be said.
Only on WTMJ.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game